And there it is. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. It's 4:08 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. So, coronavirus uncertainty is shattering, is wrecking, is destabilizing, is making the market nervous. Definitely we're seeing a shakeout. Let's look at the traditional markets shakeout today. Let's look at how Bitcoin is doing in comparison to that. I think it's doing pretty darn well, and I think gold and silver is too. Let's get started. All right, Tether into Bitcoin, 4.3 billion Tether into Bitcoin last 24 hours. That is rocking. And Ethereum is doing pretty well too, 3.21. Actually, Ethereum is doing exceptionally well, 3.2 billion into Ethereum. So Tether into Ethereum, 3.2 billion. Tether into Bitcoin, 4.3 billion. These are big darn numbers when it comes to Tether into. So boom, we definitely have people buying Bitcoin. Here's the volume for Bitcoin though, last 24 hours, 999 million. That's crazy. I would expect it to be over a billion at least, with that much Tether into Bitcoin. Where's most of it happening? Binance, 540 million of it, and Coinbase, where grandma buys her Bitcoin, at 111 million. Nobody else showed up for work today as far as the big exchanges. So with that said, it looks to me like, well, you got Tether into Bitcoin, 4.3 billion, and the volume's not even over a billion. It seems to me, and you can comment and let me know what you think, it seems like people are buying Bitcoin, they're just buying it. They're not parlaying their stash. They are just buying. They're not trading, they're just buying. Or we'd have to see more volume than this. So, is it a safe haven? I think people think so. Of course, as always, not financial advice. I'm a crazy person. This is all for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion. With that said, longs versus shorts on Binance, where the volume is. All right, 30% shorts, 69% longs. Short-long ratio, or I should say long-short ratio, 2.3 to 1. So we definitely have extremely positive sentiment on Binance. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If we look since Thursday, it's dumped over 7%. It dumped basically 800 points today alone. This is the daily chart. The MACD is absolutely dismal. The Dow Jones is below the 200 moving average on the daily. That sucks. It closed below the 200 moving average. That is definitely a bearish sign. Whoa, this is heavy. I have to admit, this rattles me a bit. Market sentiment knows a lot, and big money is moving out. This is crazy. This is unsettling. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's look at the S&P 500. All right, S&P 500 since Thursday is down over 7%. MACD is absolutely dismal. So both the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the SPX, the S&P 500, definitely are creating velocity downwards for sure. At least the S&P 500 is still above the 200 moving average on a daily. That is nice. It'll be very interesting to see which way these things go tomorrow morning. They could rally. Russell 2000 index, the little guys, it dumped today also, and it's definitely, well, it's been dumping since really Friday, Monday, Tuesday. It's below the 200 moving average. That's not good on the daily, and the MACD sucks also. So none of these really showed up for work at all. We had some big indexes dump today. Not encouraging. With that said, gold on the daily. Well, today was a red candle, but as we start the new day, which is today, so you could say this red candle is yesterday, now we're starting a new day. Well, let me see this. This is February 25th. February 26th. What is it right now? Okay, so yesterday was a red candle. Today is starting as a green candle, and the MACD is definitely positive, slightly indecisive. You can see that tangent kind of wants to go negative there, but gold dumped also some along with the big indexes. And come on, I mean, even though it's a safe haven, when the big indexes, when the market in general dumps to a certain extent, it's even going to take safe havens down a bit also. But big difference between the market dumping like this, boom, and gold just having a slightly, red day. So gold showing up for work, positive MACD. I mean, this is a daily chart. Look at the Russell 2000 index. Look at that MACD. Look at that negative dump right there going on. Let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average again one more time. Look at that MACD. Oh my lord. I mean, that is some serious downwards velocity. Look at gold. It's MACD. You know, tangent is slightly starting to turn negative. You can see that the histogram here is showing that the MACD is closing in on the signal, the blue MACD, red signal. So, but really, this is still a very, very positive sign. So, gold rallying as the market dumps. Now, let's look at silver. I would say it's also rallying as the market dumped. Yes, yesterday, or you could say the 25th, red candle, 26th is a green candle. Now, to me, it's a little confusing because today is the 25th for me, but I guess for silver and gold, it's the 26th. So, a new candle is forming, it's green. Now, very, very new in that day, but still, let's see, are we going to see a bounce? If we do, that would be wonderful. That would be great. It would show these safe haven assets have found their foundation and they're holding strong. MACD had a sharp dump on silver today, but it's still positive. We shall see. These both definitely have room to go green. Look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, look at that MACD. Oh my goodness, that's not going to be positive tomorrow. I hope, best case, to get back above that 200 moving average. That would be wonderful. Maybe the Fed can just dump tons of money into the market until that gets above there. With that said, that was sarcasm, just in case it didn't come across that way. Bitcoin, USDT, Bitcoin versus Tether on Binance on the daily chart. So, MACD is negative for Bitcoin. I wish Bitcoin was fighting a little bit harder, but if you think about it, I mean, silver and gold definitely took a little dump. Now they're finding their foundation. It looks like we shall see. Need more time to know for sure. Maybe Bitcoin is doing the same. On the daily, we have previous support and resistance right here at around 93.40 or 93.50, and it's been resistance, also it has been support. Will we bounce there on the daily? It'd be very, very nice. Really, I'm not going to be concerned until we get below this, the blue moving average here is the 200. Sorry for it's not the same on every chart, but here it's blue, and until we get below that, which is around 8,800, I'm not too worried about. I would not officially call Bitcoin bullish, but I'd like to see it bounce here, and at basically the same time that it looks like gold and silver might be bouncing. Bitcoin needs to show up as a safe haven asset. This is an important time for Bitcoin. So let's see if we can get this thing to bounce and show it as a safe haven. I mean, basically, it isn't like with this thing where you can just, the Fed can just dump money and turn it around. Bitcoin works a little differently, being sound money. So with that said, 4-hour chart, Bitcoin versus Tether on Binance. We definitely have previous support and resistance where we are. We definitely have support. We've bounced off this level before. Unfortunately, we have gotten below the 200 moving average. That's not too positive, but look at the VPVR. Right around 93.60, 93.50, where we are right now. We're at 93.79. So right in here, we definitely, where we're at right now, we have a lot of previous buy-sell volume, and we have previous support where Bitcoin has bounced, has wicked down to before. And it's a 4-hour chart. I know it's a very, very short time frame, but are we beginning to see a bounce here? That would be rocking. Come on, gold, silver, and Bitcoin as the market has instability. Show us your stuff. It's a big moment for you, Bitcoin. Don't blow it. A lot of us are rooting for you. MACD on the 4-hour is negative. Let's look at a 2-hour chart. All right, look at the 2-hour chart. Very short time frame. This is the 200 moving average here. We're below it. That's not too joyous, but still. Are we beginning to see a slight uptrend for Bitcoin? Maybe. Very, very short time frame. Hard to tell. But one thing I can say is the histogram is closing towards the positive. The MACD is heading towards the signal. Blue, MACD, red signal. That's beginning to close. So on the 2-hour chart, which does tend to be a pretty good indicator when it comes to the MACD there of which way Bitcoin is going. So definitely we have swung down. It looks like we very well might be on the way up. It's too soon to tell. Tomorrow will be an important day. Tonight might be a really important night. So let's see if Bitcoin is going to rally. On the 45-minute chart, incredibly short time frame, I know. We're below the 200 moving average. But at least we have found some recent support. We are going a bit sideways. So, if we can just keep this sideways that we're seeing here on the 4-hour chart, we definitely have BPVR volume, buy sell volume to hold us in this. It kind of has, it's like a magnet. It sort of pulls, these little points are like magnets, and they pull Bitcoin towards them. So we seem to be sideways. Short time frames, I know. Slight uptrend looks good on the 2-hour. On the 45, looks like we're kind of cruising sideways. Let's see, this could just be another plateau before going lower. But with that said, well, we got to see. We just don't know. Ethereum, USDT, Ethereum versus Tether on Binance. Definitely can see on the short time frame, the 4-hour, Bitcoin has been bouncing off this support line right around here, which is around $251, $250. There's a nice little spike here in BPVR, and it seems like we are good to go. Ethereum, on a good note, on the 4-hour chart is above the 200 moving average, so that's pretty rocking. It does look like, as you can see, this little box here, that looks to me like where you can see this buy sell volume from like 460 to 470. It looks like, in my opinion, when you look at how much volume we've got here, how much Tether into Bitcoin, 3.21, I'm sorry, Tether into Ethereum, 3.21 last 24 hours, it just looks like, well, it looks to me, when you look at some of these sideways patterns like this, let's look over here at Bitcoin, I'm having a hard time with this price action just kind of going sideways when you've got this much Tether going into both of these, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I posed you that question: are the whales stocking up on this as a safe haven asset and just manipulating the market enough to keep it sideways so they can get in at a good price? Are they, we have noticed recently, last couple of days, like look at this 45-minute chart, Bitcoin versus USDT on Binance. Look at this, perfect Bart Simpson right there. That wrecked the shorts and then it wrecked the longs, and to me that is typical whale play to create liquidity that they want to buy in cheaper, to long it and to short it and make crap tons of money. It's also how exchanges shake off those longs that they don't want to have to pay for. With that said, I've been a member of Blockchain Education for over 2 years. Even when the market's crazy like this, I'm making money. Whether it's bull market, bear market, whether it's Bitcoin is bullish or bearish, pumping or dumping, whether it's alt season or not, there's always money to be made. Amazing things are happening here at Blockchain Education. Join, and I'll see you in the chat. I'm Cowboy Craig there. Check it out. There's a hybrid trading system. The calls look a lot like what you're seeing right here. That can auto enter you, and you can select when you want, what percentage you want to sell at, or you can get into those manually, or you can just let them go and just say, I don't want to get in that one. But what's important is you can sit back and watch a few hours of video, actually a good number, many hours of video, and you can really learn a methodology that absolutely works and is constantly evolving. Come hang out in 2020 during this time of global uncertainty with us at Blockchain Education and make some money. With that said, obstacles can't stop you, weather can't stop you, heartbreak can't stop you, failure can't stop you, global uncertainty can't stop you. Only you can stop you. I am glad you're here for the peaceful revolution, and I will see you again tomorrow. As always, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps. Take care.